Hello guys, it's your Grindalot here with another grinding video. We are back to the start. By that I mean that last time we ran all the the golden keys that I had in the bank. We have a lot of spaces. We found some decent enchantments and a couple of very good ones. So we're back to the starting point. Low level keys, which we can grind very quickly. Fighting as many magisters as possible in a relatively quick amount of time, and hopefully this will give us more golden keys. Haha, the small multi-missile. I like the small multi-missile. In case you missed my previous video, I ran 18 golden keys. I found a +1 to all skills, which was amazing. And in addition to that, I found an enchantment with some magic damage, like 800, almost 900. And it procs level 1 multi-missile. It may sound trivial, but it shoots the multi-missile right in front of your direction. I mean, the direction where you're looking at, bloody English language. And since I am running multi-missile myself, I get many chances of hitting and proccing. And while the damage of the skill itself is fairly low, because it's around 300 million, it's still a multi-missile. It can hit your target several times, and it can proc several times in a fairly short amount of time. I had it on my level 4, tier 4 Edona sets, the rings that I was running several weeks ago, and I missed it. I really missed it back then, because it was making a huge difference. Now that my gear is much better, it does not make as much of a difference, but you know, any improvement in damage is good in this kind of game. When you are, let's say, in the mid game, you can often find a new upgrade every day. Like, you have whatever, Axanidia, you find the Demon Bone, massive improvement. You have Jamazen and you find an Astral Shield with a good roll, massive improvement again. Same if you're running some purple rings and you suddenly find a Spellbound. Again, massive improvements day by day. But as you reach the end game, it can take days, if not to weeks, to find gear that can improve what you currently have. And most of the improvements will come like in small percentages, like small percentage points, by enchantments or dropping something with a slightly better roll than what you currently have, and so on and so forth. And that's the reason why I have so much money. I have 34? How many? Yeah, 34 billion gold. Because even though I fully equipped the warrior with some decent gear, and I crafted a couple things for testing here and there, I very rarely need to craft new stuff for my mage, which means all the money that I pick up and that I don't leave on the ground, because sometimes I just do it, ends up in my backpack and it stays there indefinitely. In terms of equipment, the things that I'm looking forward to craft are a couple of good rings to replace my Edona set rings as soon as I need to focus on Reincarnation 17 and plus content. But I still have many low tier keys in the backpack, in the bank, which means going through them very quickly, more magisters, hopefully more golden keys. I have not been extremely lucky at finding golden keys while recording. I had the best of luck, let's say, offline. But I cannot complain about the last 2 golden key videos I made, because in a span of 9 and then 18 keys, so 27 total, I found the 2 enchantments with +1 to all skills, which is fantastic. I wish that was always the average. I really wish. And in terms of item, while we are farming, what am I looking for? Possibly Chaos Ring with a better roll, because I have a very good one, a very average one, and a bad one. I would like to have another good one. And then astral versions of what I have, basically. Not much else. In terms of things that I already have, probably a Demon Bone with a good roll would be good, because I don't have any good rolls left. I used them all on my astral set pieces, which was a good a good investment on my part. But if I find an astral shield or astral armor or whatever, right now I would not have anything worthy of infusing, so I'm looking for some spares. And I believe the only piece I'm missing to complete the Kral set is the jewel, the amulet. I don't really know if I will ever use that set on the warrior, but it looks fun, and just missing one piece that I recycled by mistake is a bit annoying. Because I always leave everything on the bank, in the bank with my main character, and then I log in the character that I used to store a full set, and I check, am I missing that one? Is it new? Is it a better roll of what I already have? There was one day that I forgot to transfer the Kral amulet on that character, and it stayed in the bank. And I thought, oh, this one is in the bank. I probably put it here from the other character because it's a bad roll, or because I already have it, who knows. So I recycled it. And the next time that I logged in that character, of course, I noticed, oh no, why? But it's okay, it's not a very important set. It's just that it looks cool. If my warrior was still like growing up, let's say, I'll be very excited about a set like the Kral set. But having a double Leonidas armor as a chest, one of which astral, and every other piece of equipment infused with a Leonidas armor, I don't know if the Kral set would be any good for my warrior. I really doubt it. But we will see. We will see. Sure, the big hammer is cute. Spinning around with a hammer instead of the tiny Queen of Blades sounds interesting. Still no golden key, right? Why, game? Why are you doing this to me? I'm not sure how long this grinding session will be, mainly because my earphones are running out of battery. I use a wireless pair from AKG, and they should still have around probably 20 to 30%, which should be 1 hour, I think, maybe a bit less than that. So I'm not really sure how long I will be able to grind and record. We will see. But it's okay. Before I started this, I checked the Australian wheel. We are at 510,000. The only thing that I need to purchase is this one, 675,000. So we may be able to do it by tomorrow, depending on my commute to work. I usually play, but every now and then I feel tired and I have a nap on the bus. So if I have a nap on the bus, there is no way that I'll complete the Australian wheel tomorrow. But if I can keep my eyes open, yeah, maybe. Especially grinding these dungeons, like the low tier ones, it makes it much easier to go through more packs of champion monsters, and so even the Australian points bar fills up much quickly. Whereas beyond Reincarnation 17, level 520, the keys become a bit slower because it's harder to one-shot mobs. So I'm putting that content on hold for a bit. I always cringe a bit when I read a powerful enemy is coming and then he gets one shot by anything that I cast on it. It's going to be a very large map, who knows? Let's see. The cool thing is that my last few grinding session, especially for in the Golden Key dungeon, pushed my damage, like magic multi-missile, sorry, went from 34 billion to 38. So I gained 4 billion, basically a more than 10% damage increase thanks to free enchantments, which is amazing, really amazing. And Magic Orbit, how is it going? Why is it hitting? Oh, the real Magic Orbit was not hitting there, only the small one. What the hell? Let's see, the real Magic Orbit. Where is it? Is it bugged? What happened? Excuse me? Why is Magic Orbit not hitting anything right now? There is something going on here. Okay, now it's working. That's so weird. I had to move it back to the slot, even if it was there. Because you saw, guys, it was not hitting anything at all. So weird. Let's see, now that we load the new map, if it works properly. Yeah, okay. Well, it was under 9 billion damage. Oh, this map. Skip. It was under 9 billion damage, now it's way above 9 billion damage. That was from an enchantment with magical damage that I put on the shield, and the 2 enchantments with +1 to all skills that I got basically in the last 48 hours. Very big improvements. I knew there was something here, but my character was refusing to teleport in this direction and it kept bouncing against the wall. Sometimes teleport can be a bit dodgy, but it's okay, it's such a time save. Like teleport and cap speed are such a must for farming in this game. If you don't have them, well, if you play a mage or a dual class with a mage and you don't use teleport, you are not okay. I could give it a pass if you're using a warrior and you use charge instead of teleport, because they have a similar function, but charge also damages the enemies, so that's okay. But if you're a mage and you don't use teleport, deleting your account would be a good option. But especially using an Aether is such a game changer. You farm things so much quickly. Let's run one more. Probably at the end of this one we need to go to town to recycle stuff, depending on how much stuff we drop in this map. Oh no! Zombies and imps. It's not looking like an insanely big map, so let's do it. Mainly because it's the last key I have with me. And yeah, this is my favorite strategy to tackle this kind of dungeon. Like, I teleport around, targeting all the packs of champion mobs, because even when it's zombies, the champion mob, the one that gives you essence point, is always visible on the map. It doesn't crawl outside from the floor. So you kill that one, meanwhile the zombies in the area start to crawl out, and by the time you're backtracking, there should be stuff visible on screen that you can actually kill. Saves a bit of time. I don't think there's anything there yet. Now we need to backtrack a bit. As you can see, we are killing zombies on the way. I thought we already went here. Yeah, just the map not showing properly. So much gold on the ground. Okay, a few zombies. And I believe this area will be enough. Yeah. Okay, let's go down. See what we got. So far we got a lot of Kabalites. I only see one thing with potential. But what's the role here? You stay here. You, my friend, stay here. And we are now at the thing with potential. Chaos Band. It's the thing that I was looking for. The intellect roll looks very low, but the magic damage is very high. Oh, it feels good, man. Feels good. Feels good. I really don't remember the intellect roll. I mean, here I have one, but it's upgraded. I cannot tell the intellect roll from this salon. I have no idea. Where do we put them? Here we have some space. You see, this Chaos Star, it has a good roll. I have not checked with my other character yet. This one has a much lower vitality roll, but the intellect roll is very high. It may be the highest that I have. And that Chaos Star, the Chaos Band, the intellect roll, unfortunately, I think it's very low. But the magical damage is the second highest that I have, so it's all good. It's all good. I would say currently those... this Chaos Band that I found right now may be one of the two that I use once I move away from the donut set. No, this is Long Arcane Passage with zombies. Yeah. Oh, this one is okay. No, dogs, double zombies. We got a good map. We got punished by mob selection. Of course. Not a huge map. It's okay. I would have gotten very upset a few weeks ago when I was looking for gear, because if you're looking for gear and you are in this map, you want it as big as possible to kill as many mobs as possible. But if you're only looking for golden keys and some very hard to find equipment and essence points, the length of a map is not really a big issue. If it's fast, you get golden keys quicker. Well, you get magisters quicker. If it's long, it takes you longer for the magister, but you get potentially more loot, so All in all, it's a good balance. %97%, so annoying. There's probably some zombies left over. Yeah, 98. Still need to backtrack a bit, right? Yeah. Oh, golden key. We did it, boys. That was good. First one. That's only the first one of a long streak. My god, zombies and dogs again. Not a huge map apparently, because I basically only killed what was visible and the meter filled up quite nicely, so I think we teleport around, kill the champion packs, and then do a little bit of backtracking and kill what we find walking around. Yeah, it's not too bad, not too bad. Could have been worse. Let's say this. Yeah, now that we need to backtrack, it's better to try to kill as many zombies as possible just to avoid having to backtrack twice. Let's see what's here. Not... there are a few monsters coming out. So this area of the map... no, it's a very small one. Damn. I was hoping it would have been enough to complete the dungeon. It's not. So let's go this way. Any blue friends? Yes, some blue friends here, a blue friend here. Here. Okay, it was not too bad. What was it? A couple of minutes maybe? Not the most. We didn't do back to back. My god. Why? Why have I been cursed? The game only allows me to do back to back when I don't record videos. I swear I did so many back to backs while playing AnimA during the weekend. No one will ever believe me, but I remember at least 3, but it may have been more than that. Of course, the best would be doing a back-to-back drop of +1 to all skills enchantments, but let's not think about that too much. I think there is a limit. The only way to do a back-to-back for that would be to record every video and then just clip together 2 videos where I find the +1 to all skills around the time that there is a loading screen, because the loading screen is fairly static. And then, yeah, put them together and say, yeah, we did it, boys, back to back. And that will be the lowest scam of the earth. Yeah, I don't think I will do it. But some people would. Some people would. I mean, there are people who use characters that are blatantly made offline, cheating like there's no tomorrow, in item duplication and all this sort of stuff, who post guides and tell you, oh yeah, you should do this, look, 500 billion damage with 1 multi-missile hit. It's like, okay, bro, okay, I will follow your advice, thank you. Even if I think that the best part of it all is, I don't know what will happen to the people who have an offline character that have been offline forever because they used it to duplicate all sort of gems, golden keys, enchantments, stuff like that. What will they do when the multiplayer gets introduced? Because you cannot play multiplayer offline. And some of the items in the game were rolled back in recent patches. Like, there was a time that you could infuse the 2 items with the gems on them, and the bonus from the gems would end up on the second item, and you could upgrade it, so the stats were insane. But when the devs rolled it back, the game removed the bonus from the stats of the gems. It did not stay in the infused item. So anyone who has insane stats on the items have those older pieces of equipment with gems infused with gems and then upgraded. Whereas other people tend to have fairly streamlined equipment. I mean, my astral, the chest, I got a fantastic intellect roll over 2000, but once it's upgraded with a demon bone, the end result between my astral chest and someone else's with a lower roll would not be that massive. But if you find someone who has like 10,000 intellect points more than you on the astral chest, it's like, hey, what's going on? what did you infuse in it and how? Show me how. I want a video of you doing it. This map always feels too short. Always too short. Of course, the fact that you are one-shotting everything doesn't... Arcane Passage with double zombies and a big map. Okay, yeah, double zombies and skeletons. The map is pretty big. We give up. It's time to give up. We need to let it go. This one is better. Definitely better. Yes, double drop. Mostly trash, but double drop. Well, there was a time not long ago that Will of the Light King was considered among the best best chests for mage. And I was so happy when I dropped an astral one. I never got the chance to use it. And I guess I will never use it now. Because the astral set is just so much better. And I never used it even when I was farming lower tier maps, simply because the strength of the weak raises intellect. So overall it increases your damage more than a Will of the Light King. And I felt so upset about it. It's like, no, why? It still has potential, because it could be that one day the best option in the game becomes to have multi-class characters, and in that case pieces of equipment like Will of the Light King can turn out to be very valuable, because the bonus to skills is split between all classes. So let's say that you have a warrior mage and you use a Leonidas armor, you get +4 only to the warrior skills. If you get a Will of the Light King, you get +2 to warrior and +2 to mage. And depending on the build, one or the other could be better. So I'm still glad that I have a tier 6 Will of the Light King in the bank. It may turn out to be useful. We will see in the future. Who knows? Lots of endless trash. Recently, there was a video just a few days ago that I mentioned. I have so many keys that when my backpack is full, I don't even pick them up. I just leave them on the ground. And now it's the opposite. Like, I make sure that every time I get a key, I pick it up. And I would rather leave a legendary item on the ground, especially when it's a tier 5 or something that I recognize I'm not going to use, because I have thousands of Kabalites. I don't need it anymore for a very long time. Whereas keys, Eventually we're bound to run out, because eventually it will take a lot of time to me, but they will all reach levels that are just very, very slow to grind, and so I would rather go back to the start. Level 431 keys, go, quick, go up, find golden keys. But that's still very far down the line for me. But still prefer to keep keys over Kabalites. Definitely more valuable at the moment. Yeah, it looks like now Magic Orbit has fixed itself. It stopped working there for some time, I don't know why. And then after I re-equipped it in a different slot, it started working again, and now it's working flawless. No idea what's going on. The tiny multi-missile is not particularly useful here. But I found it to be very useful. Like when I was lower level and I was grinding stuff that I couldn't really one-shot and they required me to spam a skill for a while, having those 4 missiles shoot in front of you and very often all hit the same target at once, it's not a small damage increase. It's not small. Like the 2 procs that I prefer for my mage are Nova on hit and multi-missile on hit. If I could have multi-missile on hit on everything, even if it's a level 1, which is not very good, I would be pretty happy, because they adds up. They adds up. You cannot rely on it too much, but when you're starting to farm monsters that stay in front of you for a while, having a few ticks of small to baby multi-missile hitting them is a noticeable damage increase. Like for example, right now, it hits for a bit over 300 million per multi-missile. Which means if all 4 hit, we are looking at way more than 1 billion damage. Like way more, like 1.2, 1.3. That's not a bad amount of damage at all for a proc. It can proc multiple times in quick succession. And I wouldn't call it a boss killer by any stretch of the imagination. But I really would be happy to have it on every piece of equipment, along with a Frost Nova, because Frost Nova has that freezing utility. I would be glad to give up a little bit of damage to have the Frost Nova utility. Frost or Frozen Nova, I really don't remember. Like I've played so many video games over the course of my life that I don't think that I could name even 5% of them. And between Frost Nova, Cold Nova, Ice Nova, all doing exactly the same thing in every video game, just having a slightly different name. Remembering, oh, nice key. Remembering which one is almost impossible. There are some video games that, like, I wouldn't necessarily rank as my best, like as my favorite games ever, but they were stuck in my mind. And every time that I play a hack and slash game, I think of a little game we released many years ago. I don't remember if it was the late 90s or early 2000s. It was called Nox, N-O-X. It was a very, let's say, simple hack and slash game. and you had 3 classes like a mage, a melee, a summoner, and you did your adventure. It was well done, it looked pretty. It was not the kind of hack and slash game that after you finish the adventure you play it forever and ever, grinding endlessly for new loot. It was more self-contained. Like during the adventure you can grind to get better stuff, but after you reach the end, your main drive to play it again was to play the other characters because they were completely different. But then there was the multiplayer. Oh no, I just got the notice from my IMs that they're almost dead. Feels bad. Well, I will finish this map, finish talking about Nox, and then I will call it a day. The multiplayer was insane. Not, I mean, it was fun. You could do PvP. I don't remember if there was cooperative PvE. I never did that. But they had a mode. One was basically a battle royale PvP, and it was very cool. And the other one was basically a soccer match with the characters of that game. And you could use the skills of your characters to like temporarily kill and send to the respawn location members of the other team, or you could influence the direction of the ball. One character was the summoner, had a pet, and the pet could do a lot of stuff. It was amazing. The fact that no one has ever done a similar function again has always been so disappointing for me, and it would be so great to have like a modern version of Nox with like a nice single player adventure, and then that same multiplayer. And I don't need the cooperative, and I don't need the 1v1. I only want the battle royale version, because it was done on the maps of the game, and it was incredibly fun. And then the soccer match. The soccer match of Nox multiplayer, there is no way to describe it. One of the funniest sport games I've ever played. Let's see if there was anything worth keeping here. If a voice suddenly disappears, it's because my IMs ran out of battery. I can hear they're still going because I still have the bug that even though I turn everything to 0, I can still hear the sound effect when I interact with a merchant, and when let's wait. When I interact with a merchant, and when I like touch a key, so, or open my backpack in general. No, I think the physical damage roll is too low. Because I started to realize that when I start to play the archer, I will very likely just use a multi-shot, and that the bow could be a good option. Anyway, Sir Grind a lot, running out of battery. He's checking out. Wishing you all a happy grinding. We had some nice grinding today. So I'll see you guys next time. Take care. See ya.